Hello Libra, thank you for joining me today for your October 2020 ASMR tarot forecast. This will be for Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. Excuse me, sorry. I'm going ham with the Major Arcana decks today, so the first deck I will be using is the White Witch Tarot. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a modified Celtic cross, and like just the first part of a Celtic cross and not crossing the first two cards, because I'm going to be using 3 different decks, so I'm going to be stacking the cards on top of each other. And then when we finish with that part of the reading, then I'm going to take out a deck of Lenormand cards, because the tarot, gosh, I'm sorry about that, I hope that's not too loud. The tarot is really great for exploring the motivations behind why people do things and like how they view you and stuff like that, but the Lenormand is better for talking about concrete situations like your living situation, your job, your money, and sometimes relationships. Tarot and Lenormand are probably about equally good for talking about relationships because it's so like nebulous anyway, right? Okay. How have you been, Libra? How was your September? Yeah. Well, you probably have a birthday coming up either at the end of September or in October, right? Well, I hope you have a great birthday, and I hope you have a great month around your birthday. So this second deck that I'll be using is some really cool Egyptian tarot cards, and they are a German language deck. They came with a book, and I am interested to learn a little bit of German so I can read this book. Because it seems to be about the Fool's Journey, like talks about the progression through the tarot. Specifically relating to these cards, so I'm really excited to read that. I'm hoping that, I learned Latin in high school, and I found that translating things was not as difficult as trying to string together sentences and stuff. So I'm hoping that will be the case. Not that I'm opposed to learning German. Priestess, and that is all about your secrets and how they bring you power. It's a very feminine kind of energy, but that doesn't restrict it only to women. And in the next deck that I used, we actually get the High Priestess again, so echoing and reinforcing that energy. And then we get the card Eon, which is equivalent to the Judgment card in some ways, but actually in other ways it speaks more to evolution of the self. Whereas death is a transformation, Eon is more like a metamorphosis. So the next card that we have is the Wheel of Fortune. And that is about evolution of self as well, but it's also about luck changing for your favor. Now the card that we have on top of that is the Fool card for this deck, but it's also about not watching where you're going and kind of like wandering into situations. You can see like the dog here is trying to pull this guy back from walking right into the river. I think it's something like the blind man or something, because he's got a staff in his hand, but he's not using it to see where he's going, and then he's got a dog with him to help him. And we also have the Hanged Man, so this could speak to being in a period of stasis, but it could also speak to making a sacrifice in the interest of the betterment of yourself and the people around you. Blind Fortune. I'm hearing like blind fortune. Alright, so we have the Judgment card coming out in the past, and in this deck you can see she's got all these people floating around in her head telling her what they think with their eyes. It kind of talks about not just cosmic judgment, but the judgment of the people around us and the judgment that we leverage against ourselves. A lot of people have gotten this card in the past position. I think a lot of people are thinking back to simpler times, but actually the Sun is all about success. It's about balance between masculine and feminine energies, and it's about the infinite energy of the Sun. Now, the Sun's energy isn't exactly infinite, but for our purposes here on Earth, it may as well be. And then we also have the Emperor card coming out in the past, and that can talk about not just authoritarian states, but it can also be about structure and order in your life, especially because the Sun card is there as well, and that is very much about having order in your life and having balance. And because the Judgment card is there, I think maybe these were things that maybe the structure that was fostered in your life was not necessarily something that you craved, structure in your life, but that people around you or a father figure maybe kind of not so much ruled with an iron fist, but ruled by judgment. So somebody like picking apart everything that you would do And I don't see that it was necessarily bad, but I see that that was probably how structure was enforced in your life in the past. So in the current state, we have the Magician as well. And the Magician is all about your power to manifest things for yourself. And the Magician and the High Priestess coming together speaks to me of a time when you are really possibly delving into the occult. So that doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but when the Magician and the High Priestess come out together, it's using this hidden knowledge to manifest things for yourself. We also have the two vessels, which is like the Temperance card, and the implication in this card is that this larger figure represents a divine entity, and it's pouring this divine libation into the cup of this mortal down here below. So it can also be about receiving divine energy. We also have the Lover's card here. This could be about a choice, or it could be about a partnership between you and another person. Sorry, I have a bit of a tickle in my throat. So in the future here, what do we have going on? We've got the Star. This is your public image, and it could be about fame and fortune as well. So we have the Star coming out. On top of that, we have the Lover's card again. And in this case, it's talking about this guy in the middle choosing between these two women. And this woman on the one side who's wearing the dark dress, she has a very dour expression. And then this woman over here who's wearing the white dress, you may or may not be able to see it very clearly, but she actually has kind of like this weird smirk on her face. So, and he's got like, his feet are kind of bound in this lemniscate. But the implication is that perhaps neither one of these situations is completely ideal. But he's got a smile on his face, so he is content. So, another card we have coming out is the Tower for the future. It could be that there's a choice that you make to you having a tower moment, and then it thrusts you into the public eye. We have the Lover's card here, and we have the Lover's card here as well. So it's possible that there's either a partnership involved or a choice. I'm kind of reading it more as like a choice that you have, Libra, between two different situations that you can be involved in, or to be involved in something, or to walk away. Up here in your goal or destiny, you have the Strength card. So, whatever ends up happening, you will have the strength to persevere. We have the Emperor card coming out again. So So it looks like your goal or destiny is to have structure in your life in some way, and perhaps let's find out if it's of your own accord. Yeah, we have the Star card coming out, so what that tells me is that because of this situation in the past where order was instituted from the outside on your life, now you are choosing that for yourself because of your position, rank, and the power that you have, or the strength that you have in your life. So now I'm going to pull out these Lenormand cards. And the great thing about this deck is that it has 2 masculine significators and 2 feminine significators, or 2 bald significators and 2 ballerina significators. So for this reading today, everyone is going to be a ballerina. That way, if you have same-sex couples, you can read for that with the Lenormand without having to be like, this guy is you and this lady is somebody else. But I just don't like gender. There, I said it. I think it's stupid and limiting. And it makes me mad more than it makes me content with my life, so I refuse to subscribe to that. If gender means a lot to you, then I respect your decision. But it does not mean anything to me. Yeah, so these cards are going to connect the situation in the past to the goal or destiny, because of course everything in your goal or destiny is going to have its origins in the past. These cards bring us from the past to the present situation. These cards bring us from the present to the future. And these cards link your future situation to the goal or destiny. Alright, so firstly, we have the Tower, we have the Coffin, and we have the Crossroads. Crossroads is about a choice that you made, and the Tower is about control in the Lenormand, and then the Coffin is about endings, or it could be about death. So to me, that says that you put an end to the outside control. That was a choice that you made. And it's kind of like the Crossroads here is leading. You're getting the same level of order in your life, but you are instituting it from the inside rather than having someone else kind of try to embarrass you into it. Down here between the past and the present, we have the mice. The mice eat away at things. We have heart for love. And we have the anchor. So whatever this was in your foundation, I feel like it ate away at your ability to love. And that, like, the anchor is about things that root us, but it's also about, like, the foundations of situations. And I feel like there was something about how this was done that made it hard for you to trust people and love them. So these situations with the lovers here and here, in the present and the future, I think is more about this choice than it is about a romantic relationship. But we do have a significator coming out here. That could be you, or it could be another person. I think it's another person because we have this stork here. Brings things to you. Could be good things or it could be bad things. In this case, it is knowledge. So I think that rather than having the writer bring you a message or a visitor, what we have is somebody coming into your life and bringing you this knowledge in a more concrete way. This isn't just one message. This is more like an ongoing scholarship type situation with another person. And then finally, between the future and your goal or destiny, we have the birds. The birds are like a group of people in communication. So it could be also social media. We have the lilies. Now, the lilies could be about an older person who influences your life, but it could also be about innocence, purity, or discretion. And we have the clover, which is about luck. So, I feel like between the future and your goal or destiny, it's like you've been very lucky that the people around you who are in communication are discreet. And that could have, like, age could be a contributing factor to that. Like, you could have older people talking about you and it makes you lucky as well. Libra, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great birthday in the month of October or in late September if you're a late September Libra. Thank you for joining me today for your ASMR Tarot forecast. This is for Sun, Moon, and Rising sign Libras. If you enjoyed the video, please comment down below, like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends who are Libras if you